Welcome to Seven Hills Tales, bedtime tales from the heart of Lisbon. Tonight, we travel to the edge of Europe, a land of wind, silence, and dreams bigger than the sea itself. Imagine standing on a cliff in Sagres, the ocean roaring below, the sun swallowed by the horizon. For centuries, people believed this was the end of everything, the world, hope, life itself. But one man looked into that abyss and saw not an end, but a beginning. Close your eyes. Let the night guide you. This is the story of Prince Henry the Navigator, and the moment Portugal dared to dream beyond the horizon. Born in 1394, son of King Juan I and Queen Philippa of Lancaster, Henry grew up between books and battles. As a young man in Ceuta, he witnessed caravans from deep Africa, tales of unknown kingdoms, gold, ivory, and distant mysteries. He longed to see what lay beyond the map, beyond the monsters drawn to frighten the curious. Henry did not turn back. He believed that God would not create oceans so vast only to imprison mankind on a narrow strip of land. And so, a purpose was born. A mission that would change the world. Kingdom on earth that would never betray them. Sagres was not an obvious choice. Rugged, isolated, almost forgotten. Yet for Henry, it was perfect. On those sunburned cliffs, he created a haven of knowledge, a gathering point for the greatest minds of the age. Experienced navigators, shipbuilders, astronomers from far kingdoms, mathematicians from the Islamic world, and mapmakers unafraid to redraw existence. Some call it many names, but you may know this one, the School of Sagres. No detailed records describe it. Some historians doubt its formal existence. But one truth remains undeniable. Here, the knowledge was forged to navigate the entire planet. Under the open sky, men learned to read the sea as though it were a sacred book, to measure distance with the stars as teachers and the horizon as chalkboard. Back then, the Atlantic had a terrifying name, the Sea of Darkness. They said that past the Canary Islands, the sun scorched sailors alive. Sea monsters devoured ships. The water boiled over the edge of the earth. But the Portuguese were more stubborn than fear. Voyage after voyage, they pushed down the African coast, 1415, Ceuta, 1434. Gil-Eanes conquers Cape Boyador, mid-1400s, further than any European had dared. Each breakthrough tore a piece of darkness off the map. The world was opening. Innovation sailed with them. On Madeira's shipyards, a new vessel was born, the caravel. Light, fast, a dancer on the waves. But this was not just technology, it was science and vision. Navigators mastered the astrolabe, learning to decode the heavens. The North Star became a silent guide. Secret charts filled royal vaults. Treasures more valuable than any gold. And behind it all, Prince Henry, the mentor in the shadows, the conductor of an orchestra that played with sails and courage. Henry spent most of his life in Sagres and nearby Lagos. From there, not from Sagres itself, ships launched into the unknown. He never lived to see where those voyages would lead. He did not witness Diaz rounding the Cape of Good Hope, or da Gama reaching India, or Cabral sighting Brazil. But he knew one truth. The horizon was only the beginning. Stories tell that in his final years, Henry walked to the cliffs at dawn, gazing southward. toward mysteries waiting to be discovered. After his death in 1460, Portugal continued his work, carrying his vision to the edges of the earth. Henry was the first to arrive everywhere. He just traveled with his eyes. Today, no great fleet sets sail toward the unknown, but the wind is the same wind. If you stand at Sagres Fort and let the sea breathe around you, you will feel something older than memory. Sagres is not just a place. It is a question. What if your limits are only illusions? The age of discovery was not built on certainty, but on bravery against fear. And that bravery still lives within you. Some say Sagres is just a cliff, rock and foam, stone against an eternal sea. But places can hold memories, and this one holds the greatest leap humanity ever dared to make. Here, fear and hope were the same emotion. Here, questions were more powerful than the answers. Every gust of wind tells a story of sailors who once trembled, and yet kept sailing. Every star above was once a mystery, then became a compass for those who trusted the night. Stand at the edge long enough, and you begin to feel that the horizon is not a line, but a promise. A promise that beyond what you know, there is always something more. A new land, a new idea, a new version of yourself. The age of discovery did not begin with ships. It began with a thought. What if we dared? What if the world is larger than our fears allow? Tonight, that same thought belongs to you. Breathe in the sea air. Let the wind carry your worries away. And remember, the greatest discoveries do not happen on maps, but inside the heart of the one who keeps believing there is something beautiful still waiting ahead. Thank you for sharing this quiet journey with me, to the beginning of all journeys. If this story calmed your night, or encouraged your dreams to sail a little farther, subscribe to Seven Hills Tales and return anytime. There are many stories history almost forgot, but you were always meant to hear. Good night, and may the winds that carried explorers guide your dreams tonight.